Let's start with ORT1, Orthographic Projection 1. To get the whole entire drawing on the camera, I have taken my page and reduced it slightly. Our instructions say sketch the top, front, and right side views of the object that appears in the isometric view. Use corner A for orientation. One isometric grid equals one orthographic grid. And of course that's going to make our orthographic views appear twice as large as the isometric. Now, I'm going to remember what I reviewed in the workbook about how my rounded end, how my hole will appear. And as I look, I also see that I have an inclined surface here and an inclined surface here in the isometric. Looking at the isometric, this is my front, my right, and of course looking down, that's my top view. I can start with any one of my three views to draw. Let me move that up just a little bit. I'm going to actually start with the top view as if I am looking straight down on the object like that, the top view. To do that, I'm going to need the depth of the object and I'm going to need the width of the object. For that, I'm going to lay this out as if it were rectangular. In other words, to get the width, I really want to go from the backmost edge to the from the left edge to the right edge, and that actually would be right here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide. So from A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to put a dot there. The depth of this object would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or if you measured here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't matter where you measure, you're going to get the same result. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to lightly sketch that in into a rectangular shape. And I'm ready to begin. I'm going to start with a rounded end. Looking down on the object from the top view, this rounded end will appear rounded. And you remember, it'll appear rounded in one view, rectangular in the other two views. So with that, I'm going to sketch my long diagonals, my two short diagonals. I'm going to visually mark halfway, and then I'm going to lightly sketch in that rounded end. And now that's located. To put in my hole, which will appear as a complete circle, it has a radius of 1, 2. So I'm going to go 1, 2 out on each side. Once again, lightly sketch my square. I'll continue my diagonals. And notice that all of my really light construction lines will be left on the object. I'm marking half of the half. And since this one, it's got a little flat spot, I'll come back and round that out. Now, rounded end, I also have my hole, and looking from the top, I'm going to see this shape here as a square. This one also. My back plate that rises vertically is 1 wide, so it's going to be across here. These two pieces here are ribs, which are thin pieces of material which help connect the vertical plate to the flat plate and give it strength. And these are 1 deep, so they're only that deep. Now, looking at the back one, it is 1, 2 wide, 1, 2. So it's actually going to stop right there. Now, with that much information, I'm going to go ahead and draw the surfaces in, the edges, with my visible lines. As I do this, I'm going to leave all of my construction lines. And now for the rounded end. The top view is almost complete. I do have the situation where this inclined surface and this inclined surface meet, and where they meet, it is going to be 1, 2, 3 straight down, and I'm going to have a line there. And then I have my center lines. I'll go over those just a little bit. Now with that, my top view is complete, and I'm ready to draw the front view. This is where I start taking advantage of the fact that the widths up here will be consistent with the widths down here. Here's corner A, and I'm looking at it from the front, which is in that direction. I already know the width, so I'll drop that measurement down. And I know a couple of other things. The back vertical plate is right here. The height of the bottom flat plate is here. The height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my object starts to look like this. Now, the rib that I'm seeing in the front view, I see it here, and if you notice, it's flush. There are no lines of intersection. It's 1 down, and you recall it's 2 out. So it's going to go from here, 1, 2, to here. So that's the rib that I see. Now, the circle representing the hole is in the bottom plate. As I project it down, I'm even going to draw this little line just to emphasize where I'm getting that measurement. Hidden line on this side over here. hidden line. And since it's a rectangular view, I'm going to put my longitudinal axis or my center line there. The flat plate goes behind the rib and continues until it hits the vertical plate, and I know that intersection is behind here. I can't see it, so I'm going to represent it with hidden lines. Like that. If you think about the inclined surfaces intersecting here, you realize that at the bottom here there's a line of intersection, and it is 1, 2 down. So there's my hidden line. Now I'm ready to draw the right side view. I'm going to go from here and projecting across from the top. The heights have to match. The depth is 6, so my depth has to be to there. It's 1 deep and 1 deep on that side. The bottom of my notch is here, and it's 1, 2, 3. There's the V, the top. Comes down on both sides. There's the bottom. My bottom plate, just to show you where I'm getting that measurement, it comes straight across. My ribs, the height. The other rib on the far side. And the last thing I need to do is to make sure that my hole appears in the bottom plate. It is 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'll have a hidden line here, a hidden line here, and my center line. And with that, I have completed the orthographic sketch for this object.